Hey everyone, my name's Jay. I'm from Paladin Survival and Preparedness. This video is just going to be about some Flashpoint survival tips. Now, Flashpoint is when you initially find out that an incident's happening. So you've got that key few minutes that you're going to be able to take control of that situation and be able to increase your survival odds dramatically. These are things that you should be able to do very, very quickly and very simple, but they'll have a massive effect later on. Now, first of all, in the first few seconds, as soon as you find out the news of this incident going on, I would instantly look to be contacting family and friends and members of my mutual assistance group. At that point, they're going to be aware. You've got no guarantee that people are going to be watching the same news, media sources that you are. So they might be totally unaware of the situation. What I'd recommend is letting them know, give them a ring, send them a text message, or if you have a pre-organised communication plan or something like that, follow that. Other elements, stuff like ham radios can be used, but obviously the people need to be monitoring it. So by far, probably mainstream communication is probably going to be the best way to get hold of someone. Once that's gotten the message out, then they should be following the survival plan that you have discussed with them and should be automatically heading back either home or trying to get their preps sorted. So one of the key things I do at any start of any incident is always to fill the bathtub. Sounds like a really crazy thing to do, however, water storage is a key problem we have in a lot of households. The amount of water you can keep in this is between 250 and 300 litres depending on the variety of bath you have. That's a massive amount of water to be able to have here, and better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Simple enough, at the start of any incident, as I'm just getting into the massive Flashpoint section, I turn the bath on, put the plug in. Keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't overflow, but allow it to fill up, and then you've got water on hand that lasts you for 2 or 3 weeks at least. If you haven't got a bath and you've only got a shower, one of the simple things you need to do is plan a little bit further ahead. You need to make sure that you've got some 25-litre jerry cans or some form of water container that can hold a large amount of water. Simplest thing you can do for this, makes it as easy as possible. If you take your shower head, you can just unscrew this, use the hose, put it straight into the jerry can in the tray at the bottom of the shower. Turn the shower on. What will happen is the water will just go straight down the hose into the jerry can, fill it up. Just got to keep an eye on it, and hopefully if you've got multiple jerry cans, simple as moving the hose from one jerry can to another. Should fill up, minimal effort, minimal monitoring from yourself. All you have to do is just make sure that they don't overflow, you're not wasting water. I take a couple of minutes just to check all of my food preps and all my stores, just to make sure that I haven't missed anything. If you're looking to bug in, then potentially this will be your main source of nutrition and food for potentially up to 3 months. So really important that we've got everything that we need here now. It might be more dangerous to go out and get it later. Okay, so one of the other things you need to make sure you're doing is in that first initial couple of minutes, you need to make sure that your bug out bags are set and prepped and ready to go. Your bug out bag and all your bug out vehicle stuff needs to be all in one section of the house, ready to go, preferably on the ground floor near your front door. If your situation changes in any way, you need to suddenly go from your plan to be bug in, suddenly you need to bug out. You need to make sure that your gear is prepped, ready to go, and then you can head out the front door without any major complications. So one of the key things that people tend to forget about, this is a very simple fix. At the start of any kind of incident or disaster, I would always recommend turning your fridge or your freezer up to the absolute maximum you can do. You have no idea how long the power is going to last, so what you can do is by turning this up, if the power does go out for any reason, it means that the food inside here is colder than it would have been originally. That means it's going to last longer. If the power does go out, what I would recommend is keeping this closed as long as possible. As I say, you need to use the food inside for sure, but make sure you're not leaving it open. Obviously, without any power, the motors aren't keeping this food cold, and any cold air that's in there will be drained out. One of the key things in any situation is to make sure you're informed as possible. I use a number of different sources of media to try and make sure I have as much information as possible so I can make the best decisions for myself and my family. If you want to bug in, if you want to bug out, these kind of decisions are going to be heavily influenced by the information I have to hand. I try to get as much information from a broad spectrum of different media sources, be it Facebook, Twitter, news websites, radio or TV. Those kind of elements will be able to influence my decisions as to what's best, depending on what's going on and the nature of the incident. The other thing I'd recommend is while you're doing this, make sure you have things like your tablets, phones and external battery packs all on charge. Key things as well, making sure elements like rechargeable torches, maybe ham radios, make sure every battery that you have is on charge, ready to go. You don't know how long the power is going to be on for, and if the power does go out, you want to make sure that you've had an advantage of being able to charge everything before it happened. Hey everyone, just want to thank everyone for watching. If you have anything else you particularly do, don't forget to put it in the comments down below. We'll look to be reviewing these videos on a regular basis. So if we hear something from one of you guys that we think we like, we can always include it in the next video. Okay guys, well thanks very much for watching, and remember, prep for life, not just for disaster.